Hi everybody, this is Cassie with Northwoods Pilates, and today we're going to be doing some advanced mat Pilates, specifically the return to life sequence. So this is the sequence of 34 exercises that Joseph Pilates outlines in his book, Return to Life Through Contrology. Start laying on your back and we'll get ready for the 100. So legs can be at tabletop, curl up into that upper ab curl and pump the arms. So the 100 is a series of 10 breaths, inhaling for 5 pumps of the arms and exhaling for 5. Legs can be at tabletop, or you could extend them up toward the ceiling for a little bit more of a challenge, or you could even try lowering them down to about eye height for more of a challenge. If your head or neck starts to bother you, you can bring the head back down. Same thing if your low back starts to bother you, you can bring the feet back down to the floor. Find a variation that works for you. The 100 is meant to really warm up the whole body, get the blood flowing, and use those nice deep breaths. From the 100, we'll transition into the roll-up. So arms are going to come overhead, feet are going to be down and flexed. As you inhale, you're going to tuck your chin and curl forward. Exhale, you're going to stretch all the way up and round toward those feet. And then rolling back down, lengthening out the spine and reaching back overhead. So the roll-up again, each one you should feel like you can maybe do it a little bit better than the one before. Really meant to get that rolling and unrolling of the spine. So spinal articulation, one piece of the spine moving at a time as you lengthen back down. Let's do 2 more here. Inhale, curling forward, stretch, and then rolling back down, arms reach overhead. Getting that nice rounded spine. Go ahead, take a stretch here so you can grab onto those feet or your ankles or your shins. You're just going to take a little bit of a stretch and then roll yourself back. And we'll go right into roll over. So you're going to bring those feet overhead, tap down, flex the feet, open the legs, and roll the spine back down. Hug the legs together, point the toes, and then go back over again. Tap down, flex the feet, open the legs, rolling the spine down. You're trying to keep that upper half of the body pretty stationary. So all of this work is a ton of core work. We're just going to switch the legs. So point the toes as you roll over, leave the legs open, tap down, flex the heels, hug the legs in, and roll back down. So open legs to roll over, getting that stretch in the back of the legs, hug in, and then lengthen back down. Last one here. You're going to tap down, hug the legs in, come all the way down, and we'll transition into single leg circles. So you're going to point the toes of the lifted leg, flex the foot of the leg that's anchoring down. And these can be a little bit more aggressive than you might normally make them. You can get that little lift of the hip as you move, really anchoring down through the leg that is stationary, however. 5 in each direction, and then switch sides. You're going to draw a big inhale, exhale to circle back around. Quick, deep, powerful breaths here. 5, and then reverse. Once you finished your 5, hug that leg in, take a nice stretch. Holding onto the leg, rock yourself up to seated, and we'll get ready for rolling like a ball. So hands can go to those shins, edges of the feet together, knees slightly open there. Inhale to roll back and exhale back up. You're balancing on those shoulder blades and balancing on the sits bones. Trying not to let the feet touch down, and just using that breath and that roll to really kind of warm up the body, especially that spine. Good. We're going to transition into a single leg stretch. You're going to roll into that upper ab curl, hug one leg in, and then stretch the other leg back. Powerful hug in here. So really that extra little squeeze back. 5 on each. Both legs in, double leg stretch, arms and legs out, circle the arms around. Keeping that head up in that upper ab curl. As you draw those circles, 5 total here. Good. Rock your way up to seated, and we will get ready for spine stretch. So legs hip distance apart, sitting nice and tall, arms up toward the ceiling. You're going to curl forward around your spine. Big inhale, stack nice and tall. Exhale, curling forward. The bottom half of your body is not moving. Those hips are anchored down, feet are flexed. All of this movement is from the belly up to the crown of the head. Take a little stretch here, and then we'll get ready for your open leg rocker. So make sure you've got room to roll behind you. You're going to grab on behind the calves on this one, find your balance, and we'll do some stretches. So one leg can reach up, and then the other leg. This will be balance work as well. finding as much length in the back of those legs as you can. 3 on each side, and then do both legs together. Extend both legs up, fold them both back in 3 times. And then reach both legs up. We're going to squeeze in and open. Hug in and open. One more. Open those legs shoulder distance, and then you can roll back here, trying to leave those legs extended. If that's too much to have the legs all the way reaching out, you could hold on behind the backs of the legs and have a little bend in the knees. But again, just using that good breath to roll through the spine here. And working on those 2 balance points. All the way back up, and we're going to get ready for corkscrew. So you're going to lay back, slide your hands under your hip bones here. So this version of corkscrew, your hips are going to stay down. You're going to draw a circle in one direction and then circle in another. These do not have to be big circles by any means. They will be a lot of work. 3 in each direction. And then just slide those hands out, hug the legs in, give yourself a little stretch. And we'll rock our way back up to seated and get ready for your saw. So legs can go a little bit wider than they were before. You're going to twist and stretch toward the opposite foot. Tall spine in the center, and then that big lengthen and twist. You want to get as much rotation through the rib cage as you can. Really anchoring those sitting bones down, getting that nice big rotation. Good. Hands can come back down, turn to your stomach. Get ready for swan. So hands right underneath those shoulders, forehead down if it can touch. Inhale to lift up the head and chest, and then exhale back down. You should feel a stretch on this one, kind of from the top of your sternum down through your belly. Just getting that nice lift, opening those shoulders. Shoulder blades draw down the back, lengthening the spine back down. And then we'll get ready for swan dive here. You're going to reach those arms out in front of you and try to rock on your stomach, as big of rocks as you can do there. Shoot for 4 to 6, and then sit yourself back. Take a child's pose, take a few breaths. Anytime we do that extension work, we like to follow it with a little rounding of the spine. And then we'll come back onto your stomach and get ready for our single leg kicks. So you're going to make a fist with one hand, wrap the other hand around it, press down with those arms. So you're basically in a half plank. You're going to flex point, point to come down, alternating side to side with those legs. If doing the footwork is too much, you can just kick 2 times. Your goal is to keep your hips relatively still as those legs, bottom half of the leg, kicks toward the backside. Upper half of the body is working hard to hold you still here. And then lie all the way on your stomach, hands to your low back for double leg kicks. So both legs together, 3 kicks toward your backside. Feet down, head and chest lift, arms reach back as you lift the head, and then switch sides. That big inhale up. Exhale to the other side, and those 3 kicks. Inhale, big lift, and then kick, kick, kick. Making sure to keep those hips nice and still as those kicks happen, so you're not rocking a ton when you kick the feet. Last one here. And then that child's pose again. Feel free to round out your spine here. Take a little breath. By now you should be good and warmed up. And we'll get ready for our neck pull. So you're going to be seated, feet hip distance apart. Arms can go out in front of you. If you like more of a challenge, you could always take the arms back behind your head. You're going to hinge back and then tuck your tail and roll your spine down. And then just like your roll up at the beginning of this series, you're going to round forward and reach toward those toes. Find that nice tall spine, hinge back. Exhale, tuck your tail, roll your spine down. And then curling back forward and that big reach. Really tall spine and hinge and curling back down. Come all the way forward. And then we'll get ready for scissors and bicycle. So to get into your scissors position, you're going to do a little jackknife. So you're going to round up, take your hands back behind your hips. You want your weight in your hands as much as possible. And then you're going to draw big scissors with those legs. Getting as much lengthening of those legs away from your head as you can. And then turn it into big bicycles, like you're riding a bicycle in the air. 3 in one direction, 3 in the other direction. We'll get ready to transition by taking your hands and turning so the fingers are outside of those hips, and then bicycle down into basically a high shoulder bridge. So from here, we're going to do some kicks. You're going to point the toes up, flex the heel down 3 times. Strong, powerful kicks. Replace that foot and switch sides. Trying to keep those hips super lifted. 3 on each. We're just going to switch and then switch the foot as well. Flex and point. Arms can come down for this set. And then switch side. Feet press in, big inhale. Roll your spine down for traditional shoulder bridge. So feet hip distance apart. You're going to tilt the hips back, lift the spine up, and then roll back down and untuck. Inhale that lift and exhale. By now your spine should be good and warmed up. This should feel really good. Getting that nice articulation or moving through the piece, through the spine one segment at a time. Hug one leg in. We'll come on up for spine twist. So legs, you're going to be seated tall, legs all the way together. Feet flexed, arms out at your sides. Big inhale, and then exhale 2 times, twist in one direction. Inhale and twist, twist. Trying to really anchor down those legs. So all of that twist again is kind of from the rib cage up. Head coming back in line over the spine. Good. Let's get ready for jackknife. So to transition into your jackknife, you can roll back. Those feet are going to come overhead. You'll pike up just that little bit and then roll back down, legs out to about 45 degrees or a little lower if you're comfortable. And then that pike up again. So only on that first one do you start seated and roll back. After that, you're going to do it keeping the upper half of the body down on the mat. Pressing in with those arms, that nice big open shoulder. One more here. Good, all the way down. And then we're going to get ready for some side leg kicks. So different positioning on this one, more advances to be up on that elbow. You're kind of lifting from your hip to that shoulder. Top arm can come back, top leg to hip height. And those feet are out in front of you a little bit. We're going to sweep. So top foot's going to kick forward twice and kick back twice. Pendulum leg here. Again, focusing on that bottom half, holding still, bot mat, point the toes up, flex the heel down 3 times, switch the foot, flex up, point down. You're externally rotating the leg here, all the way down into that développé, bend the knee and slide up, flex the heel down. Moving through these a little bit quickly here. You could always slow them down to make them a little more challenging, and then reverse there. 3 total. Bring that leg all the way down. We'll do rond de jambe, hip height, sweep forward, lift up and over behind you. These are a lot of work on that hip. They don't have to be very big. Working to make them even. And then reverse behind you and back over in front. 3 times. Good. We're going to lay flat down on the side there. Cross the leg over. You can hold onto the foot. Just the bottom leg lifts and lowers. And then lift the bottom leg and draw circles there. 3 in one direction and then 3 in the other direction. Keep that flatness and then line one straight line down the body. Top hand up to the ceiling, top leg to hip height. Lift and lower just the bottom leg. 3 times here. Lift the bottom leg, keep them together, lower, and lift both legs together. And then both legs lifted, side bend up and back down. So your whole body is lifting and side bending, trying to keep one straight line. Good. Bring that top hand down and we'll do little walks. Tiny little sweeps front to back with both legs. And then slow big scissors. Good. Come all the way down and we'll transition and do that same series of exercises on the other side. So you're going to be propped up on that bottom elbow if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, you can also lie on your side. Top hand can come back behind your head. Top leg's in front of you a little bit. That's sweeping with that top leg. Little flex. Twice to the front, point, twice to the back. And then externally rotate the leg, point the toes up, flex the heel down, bot mat. 3 times. Reverse just the foot, flex up, point down. 3 times. all the way down to velope. Bend the knee, slide the leg up, flex the heel down. You're still trying to rotate that thigh bone up toward the ceiling as much as you can. Reverse there, lift up, bend, and point back down. Top leg to hip height, sweep it forward, lift it up and over behind you. You're drawing beautiful rainbows here. Trying not to have more of your rainbow in front of your body than behind. And then reverse. Let's cross that front leg over. So you're going to grab onto your ankle, lay on the bottom arm, lift and lower just the bottom leg. 3 times. And then lift the leg and draw circles. 3 in one direction, 3 in the other direction. And then straighten out so you're lying all the way in one straight line from the fingers to the toes. Top arm up to the ceiling, top leg to hip height, lift and lower just that bottom leg. And then both legs together, lift and lower 3 times. Let's try a little bit of that side bend. So you're going to press down with the bottom arm, lift up head, arm, legs, 3. All the way back down, top arm down, legs to hip height, and do those little sweeps. Tiny little walks, front to back, and some slow big scissors. Good. Come all the way down, turn to your back, and we will get ready for teaser. So we're going to do a couple variations of teaser here. The first one, legs at tabletop, hands back behind those legs, starting with your head down. You're going to tuck the chin, press the legs into the hands, come up and find your balance, seated in that upwards V position. 2 here. You can keep going with this version, or you could take those arms out to make it a little bit harder. Same movement. Arms just reach up toward the ceiling and then rolling back down. Again, you can stay with this, or harder yet, you can come all the way from straight legs. So you're going to come up into that V, lifting the eyes and toes at the same rate and lowering them down at the same rate. And then we'll go right into hip circles. So down to those elbows, you're going to rotate those legs in one direction. This is like corkscrew up on your elbows. Those circles don't have to be very big, but those legs are hugging together, 3 in each direction. And then we'll get ready for swimming. So you're going to turn to your stomach. Legs can be hip distance apart, arms outstretched overhead. And you're going to inhale, lift up everything, and do little flutters. So swimming like your hundreds is for 10 breaths. You're going to try to inhale and do those nice strong flutter legs, flutter arms. If your shoulders feel really tight, you can take your arms out further here, almost like you're making goalpost arms or cactus arms. Good. And then once you're finished with your 10 breaths, sit back and do that child's pose. And then we're going to come forward up into a high plank for leg pulls. So hands under those shoulders, toes curled under, that nice straight line with the body. Lift one leg, the other leg points and flexes, and then you switch sides. So that point and flex is going to slide you forward and back. Trying to keep that straight line the whole time. Those hips are going to want to creep up, but you're going to try to keep them low into your plank. 3 on each. Transition by rainbowing one hand over, and we'll get ready for leg pulls back. Point the toes up, flex the heel down. A lot of work here to stay lifted out of those shoulders. 3 on each. And then we're going to transition again, tuck that leg under and come up for kneeling side leg kicks. So hand back behind your head, top leg as high as you can get it there. You're going to do 2 kicks to the front and 2 kicks back behind you. 3 total. Bring the knee down, just turn to that other side. You can face the same way if you just kind of pop the arm over. 3 total. Good. Come all the way down. We'll get ready for side bend. So for side bend, you're going to be on your side there, hand right underneath the shoulder. Top leg can rest just over the bottom one. Top arm's just going to rest on that arm, and you're going to side bend up and then back down. You're trying to make a little rainbow with your body. That hip just sets down for an instant before you go back up. 3 total, and then switch to that other side. So that top foot over in front of the bottom foot again. And then that big side bend as you inhale up and exhale back down. all the way down. We'll sit and cross the legs at the ankles for boomerang. So hands are going to come right down beside you. You're going to roll back, open, close the legs, come up and find your balance in a teaser. Bring the legs down, arms back behind you, stretch up, reach around to those ankles, and stack back tall. So it's an inhale to curl back, open, close the legs, exhale, come up into that teaser, inhale, feet down, exhale, big stretch, inhale around to those ankles, and exhale, stack tall. Boomerang is all about control, trying to find those various balance points, getting that nice huge shoulder stretch as you reach up, and then stacking tall. Let's do one more here. And then we'll get ready for seal and crab. So you want to have some room behind you and some room in front of you for this. So to start with seal, you're going to clap those feet 3 times. I was too close to the reformer, so I'm going to scoot forward a little bit. So 3 claps of both feet. Roll back to your shoulders, clap the feet overhead, and then roll back up. So those hands are laced through the legs, holding onto the ankles. And again, just with all of our rolling exercises, finding those 2 balance points up on the sits bones and back on the shoulders. And then our seal is going to transition into a crab. You're going to cross the ankles, hold onto the tops of feet, roll up. You're going to bring the head down to touch, lift from the belly to roll back over those ankles, switch the cross of the legs, and then come all the way back up and touch. Crab is one of those exercises that takes a little while to get, but once you get it, it's pretty fun. That curling forward to touch, and then back up. It's also a good reminder that Joe loved watching animals and learning from animals. One more here, and then we'll transition into our rocking. So you're going to bring your hands down, stretch those legs out. For rocking, you're going to reach back and try to grab onto your ankles or the tops of your feet. And then come up into that big extension. And the rocking motion is created by pushing your feet into your hands and trying to rock that big kind of back bend shape. And then we'll go right into control balance. So you're going to turn to your back to get into control balance. It's a little bit of that jackknife again. So you're going to roll up, nice and controlled. Bring the arms back overhead. So your goal is to keep your legs lifted. One leg's going to drop down. You'll do 2 little stretches. And then the other leg's going to drop down and stretch. So the leg that's lifted is reaching up as high as it can. That will be your counterbalance as you bring down the other leg. Little hamstring stretch, back up, and stretch. Good. We'll transition out of this and come all the way up to standing. So arms will rainbow back down, cross at the ankles, roll yourself down, come up to standing, and we'll get ready for push-ups. So heels together, toes apart, up on those toes. Round your spine down. You're going to walk the hands out into a high plank 3 times. Tricep presses or push-ups here. And then walk your hands back in. Lift the hips, find that little lift of the heels up off of the floor there. And then working on your balance, round the spine all the way back up to tall. And those heels can come back down. 1 leg push-up, same idea except foot stays flat. You're going to round the spine down, back leg can lift again to act as that counterbalance. Walk out into your high plank. 3 tricep presses or 3 push-ups here. Keep that back leg lifted as you walk back in. Try to round up through the spine here and keep that balance. And then that last leg, planting the foot, lifting the opposite leg, rounding down through the spine, articulating as much as you can as you roll down there. Walk yourself out into that high plank. 3 little presses. And then walk back in. Again, focusing on that balance as you come back up. And you're going to stack all the way tall. Congratulations, and then you are all done. To learn more, please visit us at www.northwoodspilates.com.